All right, Spirit, for our group ones who are coming to learn about their specific situation and knowing their true self within, how best, what advice for their best and highest good for our group ones, for them to know their authentic self, their true self within, Spirit, for our group ones. What is it that you would like for them to know, please? What advice? What advice? The Empress coming right out. Very nice. True self within. What advice? What more to know for our group ones, please, Spirit? What advice? What story here for them? I'm seeing some cards trying to come out. I'm going to let them just do their thing here. There. What advice here? Transformation. All right, group ones. Let's take a look at what this says. This transformation of transforming into your true self. I'm seeing how we have a pyramid and it's going in two different directions. And at this top here is about choice, right? Choosing how you see things, choosing how you think about things, using your discernment. And they're discussing the two different paths, right, of knowing the true self, or even the two different sides of what we could call our, if we're seeking to know a true self, then they're kind of asking the question of, well, who are you right now? If you're not your true self right now, then who are you? And they're saying, well, wait a minute, that's the key. Look at that right there. If you're thinking about knowing what your true self is, then who is it that you think you are now? And they're saying, dig into this, because this is the doorway. This is the doorway into knowing your authenticity and becoming your authenticity. So the advice, right, that they're giving for this side and this side is to balance these two things. Number one, because they split this like this, and it's beautifully balanced on each side. So this person that you think you are and the true self that you think you are not, balance these two things and discover why it is that this one that you think you are, why is it that this one doesn't make you happy? What is it about this person that you think you are that doesn't make you happy, right? Because on this side, it's saying the embodiment of your true authentic self is where your true happiness is. This is the balancing, right, of these two aspects of ourselves. But more than anything, right, we have what? Transformation. Of transforming one into the other, right? To make them be one thing again. Which is how you are in public is how you are in private, right? Your authentic self. Am I getting all the cards in there? That's a beautiful message. All right. So Spirit, tell us more then for this group one about balancing these two parts of ourselves. How best to go about those things? What advice do you have for our best and highest good on seeking harmonizing these two elements, who we think we are and who we think our true self is, or that we think we are not? let's take a look at this. The best advice that I'm seeing here is about being mindful of the decision to know both the person that you think you are right now and the person that you think you are not right now, right? The difference. To take a look at that, to spend some time reflecting and pondering on, who you think you are and this true self that you think is someone other than you. Remember, this is the Ace of Cups coming towards this person who is focused on something other than this part. And they're saying, take some time to know both, to know all four of these cups. To put some focus and attention and intention and some will into balancing these two ideologies of what we have. The idea of who we think we are right now and the idea of who we think we aren't or should be or could be. But again, this is one person seeing these two points of view. They're all you. And that's part of this key of being able to, make this transformation, turn this wheel to becoming, your completely authentic self, your balanced self, right? 2 cups. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the earth. Equally filled. And satisfied. Point of view of, melding these two things together. And that is your authentic self. And that is a beautiful message, Group 1. All right, Spirit, for our Group 2s who have come to learn about knowing their true self within, embodying their authenticity, what is it for advice for their best and highest good for our Group 2s? What is it that you would like to tell them? Beautiful Group 2s. This may be the whole package. Let's see what we have. Let's take a look. Very nice. All right, Group 2. The thing that I want to point out is that out of the 7 cards that we have, 5 of these are major arcana. And we're talking here about knowing your true and authentic self, of embodying and being that true essence of our authenticity. And the message that I'm seeing here is discussing, telling us, reminding us, right, that, that inner childlike playfulness and even the person that we were as a child is still within us, and that it is still the direction to go. And to follow that is the thing that creates this authenticity, this pureness of giving of yourself. Of being open-hearted and childlike in our point of view. And that almost the challenge here is to balance our grown-up self, with the childlike point of view, is to strike that pose of not being too much of one or the other, not to let the grown-up, hold us back, but not to let the child, right, get in trouble. That we have to parent our inner child, quote unquote, to move ourselves forward into our truest authenticity. What more for our group 2 spirit, please? About balancing and embodying this harmony of our creative possibilities, our childlike self, and our grown-up self. And here's right out, we have, again, 2 more major arcanas, but about balancing, right? This one is about trust and willpower and balancing perfectly the harmony of the essence of our authenticity. And for the advice that I'm seeing group 2 for going forward, to be able to truly embody our authentic self, to absolutely bring in and be that authenticity in all times and in all moments, is about the point of view of knowing, of being aware, right? I'm seeing just being aware of both sides of ourselves, right? The shadow self, to be aware that shadow side of ourselves, the thing that might dominate this creativity of this inner child, the parent that goes overboard. They're kind of saying, just don't be a helicopter parent to your little inner self, to let this creativity flow. And that, to me, is discussing, building things, creating things that are in line, right? They're in line with your heart's desire. I'm really seeing how, this group too is being encouraged to follow this creative flow that already exists so strongly within you. So now some oracle cards for our group 2 here, please, Spirit. For them to best embody this delicate balance between being a helicopter parent to our inner child and also letting our inner child run wild and out of control and perhaps get itself into trouble. How best for our group 2s to work with these energies and bring about the things that will best suit their growth. All right, achievement popping right out. To best suit that growth. We have the nature spirits and the 4 elements, which is talking to me about being outside and you focusing on the natural world and your natural self, right? That inner child energy. To making sure that you are staying attuned, right, to what we talked about before, about how we don't want to overwhelm the inner child with too much authority, too much control. And there's this delicate space of being able to, have that achievement of that balance by making sure that we are attuned to the thought vibrations, right, within ourselves. Because that isn't a good environment for a child. And I keep seeing over and over again, it's as if you, as the grown-up adult, that the inner self that you in group here too is looking for is all about your relationship, right? Your relationship and balancing, yourself with this inner child. That you have done a lot of work. You've done a lot of work and healing with that you have this relationship with your true authentic self. And the balance of those two things is your true authentic self. Our awareness creates our achievement, right? To help us move forward. And they're saying rely, right? Lean on me. You're supported in this endeavor to be authentic, right? Because that's where we tap our personal power, where we become this rock, this tree, this foundation of our authenticity. Nothing can shake that. There's nothing that can rock your authentic self. And that's a beautiful message, group, too.